Had to go water the goats. The ducks have been swimming in the goats' water dishes. So I got it. Just put them some fresh water in there, guys. Y'all hold on. Hold on, Louie. We have to use these little D-clips on all the fences because of Petey and Gracie. Hey, Blua. Now, this guy right here, he is a very old goat. He was a rescue. Charlie, y'all stop. Stop, buddy. He was a very old goat that was he was in a town quite a ways from us. Somebody dumped him. He was in the woods, and Chris, you guys know my brother Chris Claghorn from Claghorn Outdoors. He had a, hold on, buddy, it'll be fresh. Let me set this camera up. But the old goat was, somebody had brought him out in the woods and just dumped him. He was tied up, and he was in such bad shape. We got him. He was having issues walking and getting around, and well, you see, there he is right there, and he's doing so good. He's gained about 30 pounds. And he can climb now. He can sort of run. He won't never run like a goat should run, but that's due to his age. He's got very few teeth left in his head. He's just an old timer. We call him Balua. He's the old man, but he's just a really, his disposition is extremely good. He's an amazing animal. Very loving, very affectionate. When you come in the pen, he walks right up to you, and he just comes up for attention, just to get some love. But anyhow, I want to throw this out. You guys know this past weekend was the meet and greet in Talladega with Mark and Becca. Hold on, buddy, let me turn it over. Blue is over here loving on me right now. He's licking my hand. And I have not started sweating yet, so there is no salt on me from sweat. He does that all the time. The ducks have filthed up the water. I don't want to tell you guys about the meet and greet. Y'all are fixing to get wet feet. Your feet's getting wet, Pebbles. Well, the meet and greet was really nice. It was fun. We had a good time. Rosie and I, we took the motorbike up there, and man, it was just an amazing time. We met so many people, a lot of you guys and gals. And it's just, what's so strange to me is just how different people look in reality when you run into them for the first time. You know, you've known them for years through their video content, you know, what they're doing with their YouTube channel. When you get to meet them in the flesh, like some of the guys, like you guys know, Mark and Becca. They got the Cedar Creek Bottoms, Cedar Creek, I can't remember the name of the channel. I'm subscribed to their channel, but I don't remember the name of it. And when you see them, it looks like, you know, just two average people on YouTube. And then you get up there and you meet them in person, and Mark is an absolute giant. He is huge. I mean, and we're talking about you know, a big overweight guy. I mean, he is a mountain. That is a large man. But they're so kind and generous, good, you know, salt of the earth Christian folks. I mean, just, you couldn't ask for better company. So kind. And, you know, he told me I could park the motorbike over at their property, at their barn, so it's out of the weather. But you guys that travel, or those of you that ride motorbikes, you know, when you have saddlebags and you keep a lot of your gear on your bike, it's not a good feeling if you're going somewhere and you don't have access to it. You know, a lot of this stuff I keep in the saddlebags, and I like to have my bike where I'm at. Even if I go with my sister and her husband, you know, they're my biological family, I won't leave my motorbike at their house and go. I'll ride the bike wherever we're going just so I have it with me. But anyhow, it was an amazing time. They did a raffle, and I won a really bright headlamp, and it's got a red light mode on it, and I'll be using that hunting season. And that was donated by Greg House, and they are, I'm trying to remember everybody's YouTube channels. My memory's horrible, you guys. They are oh Lord, I'm so sorry, Greg, if you're watching this. I'm subscribed to the channel. I know it like the back of my head, and I can't remember it. Kind of like the back of my head, I can't remember it either. But I'll remember it in a minute, and I'll mention it. But anyhow, we got to meet so many people up there, and Greg House cooked Friday night and Saturday night. And Friday night he made a chicken stew that was out of this world. And I'm not saying it just to uplift Greg because, you know, he's part of our family and someone that I care for. I'm saying it because it's the honest truth. And my mom, my dad both made chicken stew. They made them, both of them were different. My dad made a better stew than my mother did. But what Greg put together just blew them out of the water. I mean, I've never had chicken stew that good anywhere. It was amazing. And then Saturday night, he made a chicken jambalaya, had chicken, had sausage, had a little bit of everything in it. And then he made a pot of beans. And these pots, what he cooked, the chicken stew, I think they said it was 30 gallons. It was a gigantic pot. It was bigger than these bowls that I'm watering with. And it got emptied. It didn't take long, and people were going back for seconds. And I didn't know you could get seconds when we got the stew. I didn't want to be greedy. And when they had the jambalaya, I went back up there to get me and Rosie a sweet cake because they had sweet cakes there. And he had a bunch of it left. And he asked me for one more. I said, well, if I can have another helping, I'd love to. And I'm not a big eater. I don't eat a lot, but I eat garbage. That's why I'm fat like this. I don't eat healthy. And it was so good. I asked Greg, I said, are you married? And he said, no. I said, do you want to be? I'll move Kim out. And he got a kick out of it. But anyhow, we met so many people. It was such an amazing time. It was just an absolute blessing. And that's the best time I've had in many, many years. And I'm so thankful that Jeff invited me and Mark and Beck invited me to go. And I've met so many members of our family up there and heard some really interesting stories and encounters. And one of them, I wish I could have gotten him on film, but because of who he is a public figure. And I understand the impacts of sharing encounters like that, how the public responds, and it could cost him dearly by coming forward and sharing what happened to him. But I'm not going to tell you his name just to help keep his identity concealed, but I'll share what he told me, and if you're listening and I got it wrong, please correct me, and I'll absolutely make the correction. And I'm going to share this from memory, and my memory's not good, so I'm sure I'm going to miss a lot. But his first encounter, he and his wife, they've got children, and their daughter had a sleepover. They had like a slumber party. A bunch of girls were over there, young teens and preteens, young girls. Well, they wanted to go ghost hunting, and they've got a cemetery in their area that's way out in the middle of nowhere. It's deep in the forest. There's no houses, there's nothing out there. You just follow a little dim road way out in the middle of through the forest, and you eventually come to a cemetery. Well, he was out there, he was standing pretty much at the gate of it, the entrance. And all the girls went down the hill where the headstones were and where the actual burial sites are. And they're taking pictures with their phones, and they're getting video and just having a good time, telling, trying to scare one another, just doing what young girls do. And he said he had looked behind him. He's standing up, keeping an eye on the girls, and he looked behind him, and there was a giant stump. And he said it looked like it had burned, and it was just a big black stump. And he didn't recall seeing it when they got there. And this was that nighttime. And he turned and stared at it for a minute, and it was sort of behind him. And he's got the girls down at the bottom of the hill, and he's got this big stump behind him. And you guys know where I'm going with this. But one of the girls came up, and she had gotten scared, and she had come up to where he was at, and he talked to her for a minute. Well, he had turned around just in time to see this stump rise up and walk away, bipedal, hair-covered figure, and just a mountain, a big mass of flesh. And the little girl seen it, and it scared her, and so he gathered the kids up, and they left. Well, fast forward sometime, I don't remember the time frame, but later in life, he and his son had a property that they hunted, and they had tripod stands, which for those that don't know, that don't hunt, most of them have 3 legs. They're anywhere from 10 foot in height up to 14 or 15 foot. They get pretty tall. The majority of them have 3 legs. And one of the legs will have steps on it. You could climb up it. When you get to the top, these legs come together. It forms like a pyramid, and it'll have a small platform. Normally, it's about a 3 foot by 3 foot platform. Some of them are a little bit bigger, and there will be 1 or 2 boat-like seats mounted up there. You can sit in the seat, and you can rotate. The seat will rotate 360 degrees. There will be a shooting rail all the way around it, and they'll either have a cloth material hanging around that shooting rail, which prevents the deer from seeing your body, your lower body. If you're moving, they don't see it. Or it'll have a hard structure like sheet metal or a thin plywood or a plastic around it. You climb up, you go under the shooting rail, and you get into your seat. A lot of them have tops. The ones that I left in Mariana at the peanut field when I had my encounter, I left them, and we had tripod stands out there. And mine had a top on it. It had two rails that went up, one on either side, and it had a small little like a top you see on a center console boat. And if it rains, as long as it wasn't blowing in sideways, you would remain dry. Well, he was up in that, and out in front of him, just down at the bottom of the hill, is where they had the bait pile for the deer, the corn pile, and it was wooded just past the corn pile, and there was a pocket that cut back, and he couldn't see into that pocket. It was surrounded by timber, and he was sitting up in that tripod stand, and he heard, the hoot and the growling, the typical sounds, and he heard trees being just obliterated, snapped off and broke, and it got really intense, and so he come down and left, and he told his son what happened, and his son said, well, that's why I didn't want to hunt this stand, because it happened to me. Well, a little while later, his son goes out there to go hunting, and he took, I think it was his boss man from his his job, he took the boss man out there, and the boss man sat in that tripod stand, and his son he dropped him off. He drove to the stand with a truck, and he dropped his boss off at the base of the stand. And then he had to pull back up the hill. Well, the two tripod stands are visible. You can see the other stand. And I believe he said it was about 1,000 yards. It was a pretty good distance. Up the hill, it was a power line, an easement for a power line. And normally them big power lines are about 120-foot strip with nothing but grass. They keep it cleared so there's nothing going to hit the power lines. And well, the tripod stands were sitting on them. Then they had, a bait pile out into the timber, from my understanding. Well, the son drops the boss off. He drives up the hill to park and to go to his stand, and his boss ended up at the truck. I mean, he got up there quick. And anyhow, the boss, it was the same thing. Breaking of the trees, the screaming, the howling, the growls, and his boss left. He left immediately. Ran up the hill back to the truck, and anyhow, that sort of ended it for them hunting up there. But these people, is our brother that shared this story with me, who he is in the public, people like that are extremely legitimate. It's just like our brothers and sisters in law enforcement or in the military. It is such a rare event for one of those people to fabricate something. These are people that they know how to interpret their surroundings, what's happening. They evaluate everything, and he's not in that field, but what he does for a living, he has to be extremely thorough with what he's doing. And he pays attention to the details that most of us overlook, including myself. But anyhow, I'm not going to do a lot of editing on here. I am going to show you some of the things that, I'm going to show you the totem pole that Rosie won at the raffle. Rosie won a hand-carved totem pole. And you guys, if whoever carved this, I don't remember who it was. It was mentioned, Spencer Jameson. He's a very loud voice, very clear, an amazing man. I absolutely love that man. I got to meet him in person up there. Spencer was announcing, he was calling the numbers out for the raffle to see who won. Spencer had mentioned who carved this totem. It is a Sasquatch. I'm going to put the little video clip I took of it, just showing it in the initials. I think it's KR. I don't have it in my hands to look at it. It's in the house. But if you carved this totem, please let me know. If you could, I'd prefer if you could email it to me, because I'm so busy. I got to get caught up now, so I'm not going to have much time for YouTube. But if you can't, shoot me an email. If you could put it in the comments, somebody will definitely email me and let me know who it is that made it. My email address is the YouTube channel name is standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. And also, Rosie won a flag. Mark had a bunch of the flags printed up for the event, the Talladega meet and greet, and Rosie wanted one of them so bad. She said, "Oh, I want one of them flags." The first one, they raffled off a few of them. The first one, somebody else got it, and a few minutes later, another one come up. She goes, "Oh, I want a flag," and she won the flag. And then they brought a hat up, and the hat, they showed the hat, and it's got a picture of Sasquatch with a bandana on his head and shades, and it's just a really cool patch on it. And Rosie said, "Oh, I hope I can get a hat like that. I love it. I seen it up on the table earlier, and I want it." And sure enough, she won the hat. So Rosie won her a hat, that handmade totem pole, and the flag. And she is just tickled pink. She had the time of her life up there, and before we left, she's already planning on us going to the next one. And I don't know if we can, but we're definitely going to try. I also, something I wanted to get out there. A lot of you know our brother Gary Spikes. I'm gonna have to go shut the water off in just a second. Gary Spikes was up there. He hand makes them sticks for hitting trees and making the banging sounds. He hand makes those for people, and you guys know I'm not an investigator and I have no interest in drawing them in. And he makes walking sticks, and he gave me a nice walking stick. He let me pick through about 8 or 9 of them that he had left, and I picked one that had a big bow to it, a curve to it, because I shake, and I've got one. I used to have a bamboo one. They're straight, but the straight ones, when you rest your muzzle loader or whatever firearm you use, if you rest it on top to make these longer shots, I shake. When they're straight up and down, you tend to move a lot, and I'd have to prop it up and then lean it against a pine tree when I'm out in the timber, or an oak, and that's how I'd make my shot. When I started using the curved ones, you put the end in the ground and allow the curve to be towards you, and they're extremely stable. You put you a gun rest on the top, a Y. You can hand make them. I had an Allen brand from Walmart, an Allen brand shooting stick, and the Y at the top is rubber coated steel. It's designed to grab your forend on your rifle, and it does not mar up the finish. And it's got a 1/4 20 bolt thread on the bottom, and I just drilled a hole in the top of my shooting stick, and that bolt will thread into the wood if you make the hole a little smaller, and I would thread it in, and that's what I use. So I've still got that Y. My stick split, and I got electrical tape holding it, but the Y still moves around a lot because it's loose. And Jeff's going to bring that stick down to me. But the reason I mentioned Gary, Sunday morning, we were getting ready to head out, went up to say bye to people, and I was talking to Gary, and he had a really severe dizzy spell, and he collapsed. They ended up, one of the people there, one of our brothers, Tennessee Cherokee, if you guys don't know him, highly recommend you seek him out on YouTube. An amazing man. I mean, as kind as they come, just super intelligent, a great individual. The type of people you only meet once in a lifetime. That's almost everybody I've met up there was like that. But Brian, Tennessee Cherokee, he's a nurse, and so as I was with Gary, I told Rosie, go find somebody, and she went and got Patrick Nobles, and Pat's, what a blessing he is. And Pat and a few other guys would come up, and we got Gary in the seat, and Mark called an ambulance, and Brian came up, Tennessee Cherokee came up and checked him, and recommended, definitely get an ambulance. He needs to go to the hospital. And I'm not going to mention what they think was going on with him, but it was serious enough. The ambulance, the EMS people said, yes, he needs to go. He's from Oklahoma, or yes, I think it was Oklahoma. He was 12 hours away, and he had to go to the hospital. If any of you have an update on Gary, please reach out to me and let me know what's going on with him. It's got me very worried about him with his health issues. All of us, once you pass that 35, 40-year-old mark, you start having issues. It's just the way the human body's developed with all of the garbage that we pump, pollute our bodies with. Things happen. We fall apart due to that. And God bless Gary. It's the good people that bad things happen to. If you're doing right and you're fulfilling the will that God's placed in your heart and in your life, Satan is going to attack you every chance he gets to get you off that path and to bring you over to his side. Once he's got you, he's not going to bother you no more. You're not going to have no more issues until the day of judgment, and then you're in serious trouble. But anyhow, if you have an update on Mr. Gary Spikes, please email me. standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. Shoot me an email. Please let me know how he's doing. If it's something if he does not want it shared, I did not get Gary's number to call him directly. If you have a one-on-one relationship with Gary and you speak with him, please check with him to see if it's okay if I update the rest of you guys on what's going on with him. And if he will allow me to share the details, I will. But if not, I'm not going to say anything. That's Gary's decision. It's his body, his health, and it's up to him whether or not he puts out there what's going on. But we're really worried about him. Pam and Paul, PJ, Arkansas, I chatted with her this morning on text messaging, and they're also worried about him, and we haven't heard nothing, and just really concerned, and I hope he's doing well. I hope they got him fixed up to where he can get on the long journey back home. He had left his home, went to Missouri, and he camped out 4 days. He left Missouri, went straight to Talladega National Forest near Sylacauga, Alabama, and from Tuesday until Sunday morning when he fell ill and the ambulance had to get him, he was going to stay another night and then make the long drive back home. And things happened and he was unable to do that. And I'm just really concerned for him. So please, if you know anything about him, if you're talking to him, ask him if it's okay. If he lets me know, I want to know that he's okay. I don't have to know the details, but if he's okay, just please somebody let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. Well, guys, I'm going to get inside. I'm not going to put a lot of editing. I'm not going to add a lot. I do have some footage where Rosie and I walked around the forest up there at the camp. I did not film a lot when I was there. I didn't know what to expect. It was my very first time being at any Bigfoot event. I've never been to one. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a researcher. I am just a guy. I share my life with the rest of our extended family right here, which is all of you. And we just happen to areas that I frequent are infested with these beings. And if I find structure, footprints, if I happen to come across stuff like that, I film every day of the week, just like I'm filming now. I always film. And if I do find stuff, I do share that with all of you, just to do my part in bringing awareness of the existence of these beings in our world. And I do believe they are dangerous. My personal opinion, I do think they're dangerous. I don't believe you need to let your children run in the woods alone. I don't think you need to be, if you're hiking, do not go unarmed. Whether or not you believe Sasquatch are dangerous doesn't matter. Bears are very dangerous. Wolves are very dangerous. Everything out there is built to eat you. So please don't go in the forest unarmed. If you think it's going to aggravate the Sasquatch, then they'll just have to get over it. Protect yourself. You have loved ones that care about you. Don't go out there and become something else's dinner. It's not worth it. It'll wreak pure havoc on your family and friends. So please don't do that. But I'm gonna get out of here. I'll put some of that footage up. I may add it to this, where Rosie and I walked around out in the woods a little bit, just to show you the area. I did not see any structures. We did hear some of the knocking sounds. One of them, my phone actually worked when we was way down in the timber. We were about a quarter mile away from camp, way out in the timber, and my phone rang, and it was Kim, and I had to stop recording. I talked to her for a minute, and anyhow, there was a pine tree that had died, and it had hardened with lighter, the turpentine, the sap. It leaches into the heart of the tree, and it petrifies. It gets extremely hard. It's extremely flammable. It will burn even when it's wet. It's impervious. The bugs don't eat it. Termites cannot get into it. You can't even drive a nail into it. It's so hard. But this tree, it fell, and these stobs, the limbs, the part of it that actually hardened, were still attached. And one of them stuck in the ground, and it broke off. And I tried to kick one of the others off, and they're just too hard. You can't break them. And so I pulled that piece out of the ground to take it to camp to give it to Patrick. so that he'd have something to start his fires with. And it was covered, had clay on it, wet clay. And I walked up, there was a stump, about a knee-high stump, and it was extremely hard. Whatever wood it was hard. And I just took that lighter stump I had about that long, and it's about maybe that big in diameter. And I hit it twice on that stump to knock the clay off so that I didn't get that mess all over me. And Rosie was behind me, and there were 2 knocks behind her. And I did not hear them. She did. And she said, oh, there's something just banged a tree 2 times, behind me. And I turned around. I said, from where? And she pointed and said, back there. And as I was turned asking her, it happened again. And I did hear it the second time, fairly close to us. I did not see anything. I did hear early one morning, I heard a scream way off in the distance, and it sounded like a bobcat scream, and then it went into a loud, like a huffing, real deep, guttural huffing. And as soon as that happened, that was where we were at. That was sort of this direction. And as soon as it stopped back this direction, the coyotes fired up, and they were singing some tunes. We did hear a couple of hoops way out in the timber. It was far away from us. It wasn't close at all, but you could hear them. They were very, very audible. I heard some toward what was called the Killing Fields. There's a trail that runs out. It's a road, but they got it cabled off. You're not allowed to drive down it. And we did not walk back there. That's where everybody would walk, but supposedly this killing field is an area that the state comes in, they till it up and they plant it. And they plant it for the hunters to come in, and the deer come in, the wildlife comes in and feeds off what they plant. The hunters, they'll have the opportunity to harvest the deer. Supposedly a hunter was found. There's 2 of them. When you walk up on the first one, you go across it and there's another road that continues, and there's a second one. That first field, they found a hunter. 2 people told me that he was dismembered, and several other people said that he was mauled and he was chewed into bits, but he was deceased. And they said from whatever testing they'd done, it was an unknown animal attack. They don't know. They say it was not a bear, it was not a panther. It was not a wild cat or a dog of any type. They don't know what it was. Now, I cannot verify that that's facts, that somebody was found deceased. I'm just relaying what was told to me. But it was, I think 5 different people had mentioned it. It may have been 6. There was at least 5 people that had mentioned it to us. And I don't think anyone went off trail. We had one guy, Justin, was right beside us, a great guy. He lives in Tallahassee, not far from me. Now, I got up 3 in the morning, and I was out. I went to relieve myself right at the edge of the wood line. And he come walking out down the road. He was up all night. He's walking around, and I think he may have been the only other one besides Rosie and I that actually went off trail and went into the timber. I don't know how far he went. A lot of people set out cameras. There were audio devices put out. Tennessee Cherokee and Jeffy, they put out audio devices, some really, really fancy audio equipment. They put them on stands and they had them spread out all over out there. So if you are part of Tennessee Cherokee's YouTube channel, I don't remember the channel name. He told me, and I do not remember. I had nothing to write with, and my phone was in Jeff's car being charged, so I had no way of jotting it down. And it was an easy channel I would have remembered, and I thought I could remember it, and I did not. Rosie's at school, so I can't ask her. She was with me when he told me the name of the channel. But if you know the channel name for our brother Tennessee Cherokee, please put it in the comments below. Please do that. And if you'll put a notation to let other people know. And, you know, Pam and Paul, PJ, Arkansas. If you're not affiliated with them, please go over and join their YouTube family. They're good Christian folks, just down to earth, wonderful people, amazing people. And everyone up there, Greg House and his bunch, Woodwalkers, that's Greg House and that group. Greg looks like the type of person that would take on a grizzly bear and the bear would end up losing. He's just a brute of a man. Long beard, long hair, and just looks like the type of person you do not want to tie up with. And he had an absolute heart of gold, an amazing man, and just the opportunity to get to shake his hand and meet him, like so many other people I met up there, was a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me, and I'm absolutely grateful for all of you guys and gals that I met up there. Crystal, Mogs, our brother Mogs, Stevie B, and I'll tell you something, we got, on the way back, Russell, that's our brother Mogs, the Mogollon Monster, I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, that's Russell, and when I met him, you know, I figured he was 5'9", 5'10", about my height. Well, when I got to meet him, you know, I'm having to look up. He's a big guy. He's 6.5 foot. He's just a big guy. Most of the people up there were, and I'm not big. I'm short and stubby, but I was looking up a lot. And but just a really good, really good man. And it was a blessing to get to meet him and Stevie in the flesh. And they live in the path, they live in Tampa, right in the path of this inbound hurricane. They were pulling their camper trailer, and he had asked me if he could park it here, and so we have his camper out here, and we have one of Kim's friends is driving one of the big 30-something foot RVs. She's coming up, she's gonna park it up here too, just so they're out of the path of the hurricane. And Mogs brought his up here because if his house gets destroyed, he won't lose everything. He'll still have somewhere they can stay temporarily. So, but such good people. And the hat that Rosie won has the Sasquatch on the front of it. She has it with her, so I can't show it to you now. But anyway, the hat, it's a nice hat. It's not a dollar store, you know, flimsy piece of garbage. It is a nice hat. It's, well, I don't have my goat hat on. It's dirty. I got to wash it, but it's just a well-built hat. But the Sasquatch on the front of it, as soon as I seen it, I said, that's Mogs. It looks just like him. Just because he's always got the bandana on and he's got the beard. I mean, it looks just like him. But what a cool time. But anyway, guys, I'm blabbing. I'm sorry. I just want to let everybody know we are doing well. We're back. I've been sick. I haven't been feeling well. Yesterday, I was really bad sick. I've got to load the tractor up today and go help a friend. I got to do some land work over there, some cleaning and clearing and mowing and all that good stuff. And I'm waiting on him to call me to tell me to load it up and head that way. I got a long day ahead of me. Anyone in the path of this inbound hurricane, please don't ride this thing out. If you're right there close to the coastline, near that eye wall when it comes to shore, you're not going to be here afterwards. These storms, when you get past that category 2, nothing stands. Oak trees as big around as the hood of a car, they'll be laid over on their side. There will be block buildings that'll crumble. They're just not built to withstand winds of that power, and then all the water that's coming in with it. So please don't stay if you're in the path of it. There's a lot of shelters that the governor said that are open. They are pet friendly. Now the privately owned shelters, it is up to them whether or not they allow you to bring your pet. But with Hurricane Michael, the shelters didn't allow pets, and a lot of people, instead of leaving their pets somewhere else, they wanted to be with their pets, and when they were turned away because they had their dogs and cats with them, they went back home and they lost their lives over it. And so the governor, I'm not sure exactly how he set it up, but the state funded shelters, the majority of them allow pets. Now, you probably have to have them in a kennel. You've got to manage your own pet. So make sure, put them in a kennel, put them in something. They may be uncomfortable, they may not like it, but they're going to be alive when it passes, and you will be alive. So please, if you can't get away, Uber is doing a thing. You have to use the, they got a code, like a discount code you put in when you schedule the Uber. You have to check. They do have it on the state's website, the emergency, it may be FEMA website, but Uber is doing a thing. If you're going to go to a shelter, they will take you to the shelter. They will pick you up, take you to the shelter for free. It will not cost you nothing. You have to put in that code, and I don't remember what it was. I think it's hurricane relief. I think that's the code, but double check that. And if you don't have a means of transportation and you are wanting to go to a shelter and you're in that evacuation zone, reach out to Uber. And they may be able to tell you what the code is. If not, please check the FEMA, the emergency websites, find that code and put that in so that you don't have to pay and you can get carried to one of these shelters and you'll live to see another day. This storm is serious, it ain't no joke, and I don't want any of you guys to get hurt. I don't want nobody to lose property. I don't want you to lose anything. And we've been through them, we've lost a lot through the years. It's scary. We were on the outskirts of Hurricane Michael, which was a Cat 5. The eye wall was a little, not quite 12 miles. It was a little over 11 miles from us, and we watched it from our back porch. We were out there with the goats. We lost several trees, lost a lot of trees. All of them got damaged. Our roof got destroyed, but we sat there and we watched the wall go by. And it was black as night. It looked like a 10-mile wide tornado, and it was just black, wispy, like billowing smoke, but it was going sideways. Like the smoke wasn't billowing up, it was billowing sideways. And we watched that thing when it went by, and that was one of the scariest things I have ever witnessed. And I don't know how anyone survived that. There were some survivors, but so many people lost their lives in that. I don't think we will ever know the true number, but talking to friends that are in the emergency services field, it was well over 1,000 people in the Gulf County, Mexico Beach, Weewall, that whole path right there where the northeast quadrant of the storm come through. And we don't need a rerun of that. We don't need anybody to lose their homes, their property, their pets, their lives. We just don't need it. So please, your home's replaceable. You are not. Find somewhere safe to go. Well, guys, I'm gonna turn this water off, get inside, and get me something to drink. I'm still not feeling well. I've got work to do today, and I got to get started. I'm not going to do any editing on this video. I'm just going to put the clips together. I may cut out some of the nonsense, and I may add the footage from the thing that we filmed up there, the event when we walked through the woods. I didn't film much of anything else. I didn't feel well at all. I've been on antibiotics and they made me feel pretty bad, and then whatever I come down with, I'm not feeling well from that either. And it's really hard to try to stay in good spirits when you have a headache and your blood pressure's out of whack and you're anyway. But for those that were there and those that I met, thank you for coming up and introducing yourselves. And it made my year. I absolutely loved it. And I do plan on going to another one. I just don't know when or where that's going to happen. But I will be at another one, guaranteed. But I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing evening. And I'll throw some of that footage from the walk that Rosie and I did. I'll put that up now. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hey folks, this is Donnie, and there's Rosie.
Hey.
We are up here in near Talladega at the Hollings hunting camp. And for those of you that have followed Mark and Becca, you know this weekend is the meet and greet. It's it's one of the Bigfoot events, I guess. I've never been to one. This is the first time. So Rosie and I rode the motorbike up here. 5-hour trip, 5.5 hours. But we're here. Brother Jeff Townsend is here, and we've met a lot of people. A lot of people that are part of our family here at YouTube. We've met a bunch of them. And we got here late yesterday afternoon. Today's Friday. Not sure of the date. But we're walking away from the camp. We're just checking out the woods. It is a beautiful area. We found a bunch of, there's granite, or that's a big tree. Oh, it's granite or quartz. I think it's quartz, and it's all over out here. It's in the ground. If we find a section, I'll show it to you. You know, most of you guys, especially those of you further north than what I am, y'all are probably very used to seeing stuff like that. We don't have rock outcroppings in Florida, so it's just neat to see it. You know, when you're not around that kind of stuff, it's really, really neat. I wanted to walk around and see what the woods is like here. It's just it's a different environment. Everything's different. It's definitely not Florida timber. I mean, we have the oaks and the pines and the tupelos and the hickories, but it looks different and it feels different. And I don't know if you can tell, but all these are like rolling hills, little small hills. Looks like it drops off from there. Let me go see. So we're just walking around checking things out. There are a lot of people that came up here. I don't know how many are here, but it is a lot of them. Really pretty out here. The campground is back that direction. The phone signal is absolutely horrible. I have iPhone, so my phone is flashing between 1 bar and the SOS mode, which I can send text messages, but it's that iPhone satellite system. There's a fat lizard right there. Wow. It ain't very fat, man. Look, what's that hole right there? The root of a tree that's rotted. Yeah, the way the woods are here, it makes you feel really small. Just the way the woods look. And you've seen the videos that we filmed from my area, which is Florida. You know, it's really thick and congested. It's more open here. You got a lot more opening. You could see a long ways in here. And I am running my hunting app, but I don't know how well. It is tracking my course, thank God, but it's not really showing the map because the signal right there, 1 bar, and it's going back and forth between SOS mode and 1 bar. But we'll be all right. If something happens, we get turned around, Jeff will probably be heading out there for us. It's nothing but hills, rolling hills. Really, really pretty. I love the woods out here. I love all the woods, but this is just such a beautiful place. What do you think, Rosie?
Yeah.
Just what do you think?
I really like it out here.
Pretty, ain't it?
Except for at night, kind of gets a little eerie.
Yeah, it gets eerie at night for sure. Early this morning, there was a very loud metallic-like bang, and everybody heard it. I'm not sure if I heard it or not. I slept somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes. I'm extremely tired. There's some granite right there. There's a piece of it. There's another piece right there. That is just, it's really pretty.
Some right there too.
Yeah, there's some more. It's in the ground here. Yeah, that's a big piece. Yeah, we don't have stuff like this back in Florida.
How shiny it is.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It is. It's very unique.
It's everywhere. There's one right there too. That's a smaller one. That's real pretty. Look at how it glistens. It's so cool. It's all under the ground right there. Under the surface. There's another one. Oh, that's a pretty one right there. Look at that. Wow. You can see the little reflective glistening on it. Oh, that's pretty. There's some more. It's all over out here. There's a big piece. Yeah, we're just exploring, you guys. I'm gonna try to film when we get. They got something going on this afternoon, and I'm not sure. What is that? Oh, it's one that I thought it was one of them petrified sticks. Where's that big one? Oh, look, it was dug out of the ground right there.
Yeah, really dug it out.
See all the gravel right here where it was pulled up? I don't know why it got pulled up. Look at that. That's so cool. Let me get some of that for Todd. There's some more right there.
He would love it. I'll just sit down and sleep on it all day.
That's got some pretty colors in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think anybody out here is, I don't think they're walking around and exploring out here. This fat lighter, I'm gonna see if I can get that up. That stuff there burn. All of this right here is fat lighter. I heard you. Rosie backfired. What happened? Yeah, you gotta watch her. She does that kind of thing. Yeah, that's all. This here is fat lighter. That stuff out there, you could start 50 campfires with that little piece. There's a big old piece of that granite right there, or whatever that stuff is. See the leaves? How their leaves are kicked up right here?
Mm-hmm.
There's an animal's been in here pushing around, probably looking for acorns. See the rock rolled up? That little rock was in that hole. It's been rolled up. That grass blade is broke right there and bent over. This stuff's been kicked up where something's walked through right here. Well, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like pieces of glass in it. Oh, I like it in here. See right here where the ground's kicked? That's turkeys.
Look at the tree. Oh, I like that.
Guys, they don't have a shortage of spiders here. Holy cow, there's a lot of spider webs. There's one right here. I was carrying that stick with me. Look at where this tree fell over. It's quiet. You can't hear anybody. There's a lot of people up there at the camp, and it's fairly loud. Got a few people doing the whooping and the banging on trees at night, but yeah, not me. It's a giant mushroom there. Look at that.
Pretty.
Isn't that cool? That's a big one. Big old piece of lighted. Look at that big old tree.
It's huge.
I was going to share some of the trip, our ride coming up from Florida, up into the Talladega, Silicaga area. Rosie.
That was
And but it was just traffic and highways and just nothing really pretty until we started getting up in the hills, and it got really pretty. But this right here, what I'm doing right now, this is what I enjoy. There's a big old piece of that stuff. That was real clean.
yeah.
Let's see. That's dug up right there. There's a hole right there. That would be an armadillo hole. And all the deer tracks. See them?
Yeah.
Deer tracks all through right here. Boy, this is pretty. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but it goes uphill. There, and it goes uphill up there, top of that ridge. Look where all the leaves. See where it's cleared?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little pieces there. It goes all the way up. Look right there. It's like a trail. There's some more. And then, like, that's a big old deer track. There's one. There's one. There's one. I did see a deer yesterday. What I think was a deer. We were up there at the camp talking to some people, and I seen the back end, like the back ham area of a deer is the top part of his back and just down his backside. I did not see a tail, but it just walked by really slow and got a good look at it, and so I'm pretty sure it was a deer, but it was very, very close. Very close to the camp. There were people within 30 feet of it, which I thought was pretty neat. There's another rock. There's a lot of them right here. It's a runoff, but it looks like the deer are following it. There's a bunch of leaves kicked up under that little tree right there. That is shiny. That is real shiny.
Yeah. It's very cute.
I got 2 or 3 in my pocket. Yeah, we got a few. We got one big piece of that rock on the motorbike. There's a high ridge right there. This is what I was looking at. Something's been laying right here. See where it's all flattened out and smooth? Probably deer. There is a ton of deer tracks out here. They're everywhere. Oh, this is one of these outcroppings. You see the rock under the algae? There, underneath that green right there is that rock, and it goes up. There's some up there. Really neat. I wish we had stuff like that back home. We did this morning, right as the sun was coming up, there was a tremendous cracking out here and a tree fall. And it sounded like a massive tree. And several other people heard it. I was not the only one that heard it. Well, that rock's everywhere out here. Look at this. That tree right there. Just pieces of it. Where's the tree at? It's been broke out of the ground, but it's not here.
You can tell if that was my hand or yours.
I don't know. Maybe somebody else's. Oh, there's trash back here. Look at all the trash up here. Somebody's dumped.
That is weird.
Dinner sausage cans. They're all over right here. That's a pretty one. And when you clean these up, wash them with a toothbrush.
Yeah.
It's a pretty one. Propane can right there. Another propane can. A bunch of jars. Another propane tank. That's ridiculous. There's no sense in people doing that. Coming out here to God's country and polluting it. You'd have to get a couple of barrels. Look at all the bottles. Jeez. All of this is trash. See an opening in the trees. We may be approaching the other end of the campsite. And it looks like people either, I don't know, it could be bears. There's a bunch of deer tracks right here. I guess a bear could have grabbed somebody's trash bag and brought it out here and opened it. I don't know, but it looks like it may have been dumped. Where? Walk over and look at it. I'm having to wear my motorbike boots because we didn't have room to put my ACDSAF boots on the bike. We were loaded. That was clean. That's real clean. You ought to grab that one.
I'll just put that one back.
Yeah, it's pretty. Real white. Yep, I can see somebody's camper right through there.
Yeah.
So we circle back. Look at this road right here. See where it goes up and turns. This is a road. Maybe an old wagon trail or a hiking trail. Yeah, let's go back and see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I don't know how much filming we're going to do here. I really don't have a clue. I was very limited on space, and so I grabbed the essentials, what I needed to film, and I do think that I brought both of my lights, my camera lights. If I did, then I can film when it gets dark. But if not, I may have to improvise. I've got lights. We've got flashlights. Yeah, that's a spider.
I'm gonna name him Jimmy.
Let me know if you see any trail markers with painted a stripe around the tree. Another spider web. Gee whiz. Yeah, this is an old road. It's a little too wide to be a hiking trail. So I assume it is an old road. I just don't know where it goes. There's another spider web. There's an old buck rub right there. The hole. Oh, just walked into another spider web. It's really pretty. It goes downhill, down there to the bottom, then it goes way uphill to right up there somewhere. What is that water right there? This road goes this way. I think we found some water. If it's water, then there should be a heavy game trail coming around it or up close to it. Another spider web. Old buck rub. Oh geez, we walked into another spider web. Holy cow. It looked like water, didn't it? I don't know, but there's another spider web. This is far more spider webs than we got. Oh. Oh, I just walked into another one. Shoot. Yeah, just a bunch of trees that fell. You're running into another one. There's some more of that granite where that tree fell over. A bunch of it popped up.
That spider went up.
Oh, that's a big spider web. Anyhow, we're gonna walk in. Today is I think today's the official start of the meet and greet. And I don't know what is that? Look at that rock. It's got little cuts in it. Isn't that cool?
Look at that.
Oh, that whole thing is rock.
Isn't that cool?
It's river rock. Look at all that.
Like we found in rivers or something?
Yeah. Yeah, that's that old shell stuff. Isn't that cool?
These are the kind of rocks that you can skip in there.
Yeah. It's neat. Pretty. Should have brought a bag. These looks like pieces of wood. Look.
Oh. It's burnt wood. Oh, wood that's just black.
There's this whole bottom. There's a big chunk right there. Look right there, that one. That'd be neat to.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, there's that rock, some type of weird rock. We need to find some arrowheads in it. Look at all of it. Every bit of that's rock. And this definitely is not Florida. Put some of these pieces in your jacket, Rosie. In your pocket. You got big pockets on it.
Not really big, but they work.
Yeah, it's just clay. Getting some of these. This in here is dry. That one. Man, that is cool. I don't know what you call it. Very pretty. See if we can figure out how to get out of here. Just seen a bug go in right there in that hole. Just checking to make sure it's not yellow jackets.
That would be good.
Yeah, just walk easy, just in case. See, there's another hole there. Oh, yep, there's an animal living under that one. There's definitely an animal under that. For sure. Oh, there's so much. Look at all the rock in the fruit ball.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was real pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You can clean those up and put it in Todd's.
Don't have much pocket room. It's kind of heavy.
Oh yes, it's rock. Man, it's pretty. We have to walk back out here and bring one of the little packs. Bring some of this rock home. I don't know how much we can haul safely. Oh, another spider web. All in the face. That tree's hollowed out all the way up. Look at it. And it's alive. That's a giant root ball.
Definitely don't see that before.
Got a big rock right down there and another one right there. You hearing that knocking over there? When I was on the phone, I heard it too. I don't know what that is. When I was on the phone, I thought it was acorns hitting, falling and hitting one of these downed trees, but that did not sound like acorns that time. Look at how these logs are. I mean, it's a tree, but the way it fell and the limbs broke off, it's like they formed a wall the way they're stacked. There's fat ladder right there. Yep, there's definitely fat ladder. Got a burn. There's fat ladder. That one right there.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we have not seen any snakes or snake skin. We haven't seen any sign of snakes yet.
Yeah, look at that.
Hmm?
Mushroom.
Yep, we found they have yellow mushrooms here, purple, gray, and pink so far. Yep, there's a bright yellow one there.
That's pretty.
There's a pile of stuff. Everything's different. Their soil is really dark. You see how dark the soil is there. Yep, there's another yellow one. Look how bright that is. You can't miss that mushroom. Whoop. Did you see another purple one or a pink one? We'll film it. Yeah, there's one right there where the motorbike's parked. Someone stepped on it, but there's one there. The ground's disturbed right there. Something's been laying. I can see an opening in the trees way up there. That might be the campground. Is that where they used to cut timber? Looks like it's been cut. Yep, it's an old log right there. And it's been cut for sure. There's a stump. That's pond ladder. Huh?
You're knocking that one.
More knocking?
Yeah.
When I knocked on that?
Yeah, right after that.
Okay. I wasn't thinking about it. I don't want to draw no attention to us. There's some more of them tall mushrooms. Another spider web. There's the yellow one with the orange top. Look at that. It's really pretty. Look at that. Those trees up there, the way they're laid over.
Interesting. That one on top isn't even broken.
Well, that's still alive. That one that's bent over.
Cool looking tree.
Oh, that'd be a good tree to put a tree stand in. I don't know if we're going in the right direction. Something's been rooting the ground up right there. Oh, this is that road, I think. That little trail that we was following. Yeah, this is it. There's another bottom right here. Let's go over these logs and come down. That looks really pretty. I really like these woods. Ooh, that tree's slippery. Rosie, be careful. That nice too. So it leaves. Run, run! We'll put them in the rack on the bike. It's got to see what they're collecting turpentine out of the tree right there. I do not see any cut marks. No remnants of any terracotta pots. We'll go this way. That goes uphill a pretty good ways, doesn't it? Oh, it goes way down. It drops off back there. All right. In regards to this video, you guys, I may, depending on how much footage we get here, I may have to break it down into a couple of videos, just to, you know, share this area with you. Here's another one of these little roads right here. Oh, that's the same one. It curves back. I think we got to go this way. This should put us back. There's another spider web. Jeez, boy, there's so many spider webs here. And for you guys that are not outdoorsmen, the whole purpose, geez, a bunch of them right here. The whole purpose of sharing with you, you know, all the amount of spider webs that are here. If anything walks up through here, they'll tear the spider webs down. Now, if the spider web something walks through it first thing in the morning, by late afternoon the same day, the spider will rebuild his web. But if you come out in the woods and you're finding spider webs that have been torn down and they're not rebuilt yet, there's a very high possibility that something walked through it and it was very recent. All right, that was people. That is not Sasquatch. If y'all could hear that holler, that whooping sound, that was people doing it. Watch these vines, Rosie, so you won't trip. Yeah, see campers up here. Oh, geez, I'm hot. Yep, someone put a pink marker right here, marking their way so they don't get lost. Right there. Oh, there's another pink marker. See where we're at. Not sure. Yeah, well, you done it right. And this is the road coming in right here. Doing a little documenting.
Little documenting.
Yes, sir. You doing all right, Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Doing good, thank you. All right, this is coming in. That was Spencer Jamison. If you guys don't know him, very, very nice fella. And I've talked to him before on the phone. I finally got to meet him today. There's a lot of people here that I don't know who they are, and I was introduced to a lot of them, but I just don't remember names. And there's a lot of vehicles, a lot of people. There's more coming in today. How y'all doing? Good deal. Be a good day to go ride the bike around and cool off. Get us a soda pop or something. Yeah, there's right up here the road splits and it goes off to the right, and down at the bottom of the hill down there, there's a lot of people down there also. That almost looks like Chris's truck, almost. The wood's pretty thick up here. You can still get through it pretty easy. I wish it was like this in Florida. When it's thick like that, you just can't get through it. There's so many briars, and they all have thorns. Well, that's pretty down there.
Yeah.
It drops off back there. I don't know if you guys can tell.
These rocks are heavy.
Yeah, we're at the far end. We're that way. That way there, it just goes down to a bottom down there. And there's a ton of people down there. It's full. But all of the people here, all the RVs, the tents, some people are staying in their vehicle, but all of them are here for the meet and greet. I mean, Mark and Becca, they got the word out, and this is a success. CD Squatcher, Christine. We have to go find this soda pop or a bottle of water. Something called hot. You guys doing all right?
Oh yeah, it's nice in the shade tree.
Yes, sir. Y'all got a big one here. Yes, man. We just went down in the woods over there, and we went back in here about a quarter of a mile or so and just did a circle. Found a piece of fat lighter. Oh, yeah, it's hard. I ain't got no way to cut it.
Misty, she'll try and make a mushroom out of it.
That's right. We'll see you guys here in a little bit. I'm gonna go find me a cold drink. Talladega National Forest meet and greet. I should have filmed that sign. I didn't think about it.
We're behind the truck. Go over and get your walking sticks and knockers.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta ask Jeff if he'll. I can't haul it on the bike.
He can hold them.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that if he can bring one back for me. They sure are pretty.
You need to get one for you and her.
You mind if I show them on camera?
No.
Oh, good deal.
I got another one here that's even prettier. My mattress went flat on me last night.
Uh-oh.
I had to change it down.
Here.
Stop it.
Walk up here.
Nowhere.
Did you see?
Yeah, he's. Oh yeah, yeah.
You saw that one?
I did. That is so pretty.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if we can get that.
It's Donnie Miller.
Oh, don't
These
recognize
are
that
all-
your beard.
Yeah.
I watched your channel all the time. Didn't recognize that your beard, dog.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hunting
We gotta
season
make that
opens.
different, don't I?
Hunting season opens this month, and I shave it off at the start of hunting season, and then I don't shave again until I harvest something. All right, you guys, we just met some more people. We're talking to them. I want to show you these walking sticks that he's making. There's his tree banging sticks right there, and he makes all of this. Does a really good job on them. And these are his different walking sticks that he makes, and he polishes them up. And that thing's so shiny. It's pretty. I don't know if you can see the glare on it.
What's that Sasquatch at the bottom, too?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Like GPS or something?
Hey, he's got his logo on it. Isn't that cool? Do these others have it?
No, maybe.
Can't quite turn that one. Let's see.
This one has it, I think. Yeah, it does.
Yep, there's another one. Isn't that cool? Well, that's a big one right there. Look at that
This one
thing.
is, it's a cedar.
So pretty.
It's a cedar.
Has he got his...
It's got it on this one, too. It's kind of faded.
Yep, you got one on that one.
This one is an Alabama hickory.
Yeah, there's a willow. He's got them listed what they are. There's a willow.
Mark.
Aren't they pretty?
Very unique, too.
And if you guys, if you're coming up here, or if you're here, I'm sure this video will be uploaded well after this event. They'll be having another one. I don't know if he'll be following the event around or going to the others, but this is what he does. He makes walking sticks and the tree, what do you call them, tree knockers or tree bangers?
Tree knockers.
Tree knockers. Those bats right there. Really pretty. I don't have the know-how to do that. Well, we're going to go back over to our little spot and rest up a minute.
I'll be careful. See you next time. Thank you.
Yeah, down by the river, I sit up and watch the willows sway. Hook my worm as I'm learning, thinking about yesterday. The water's calm and I'm falling, going down memory lane. Can you cast me on back? She took off on a railway, I'm sitting on my tailgate. She was the one that got away. I thought it was the real thing, even bought a real ring. All of the frames on my wall turn gray. Now, every I tackle the way your dad showed me. I'm at the place that I took you and got down on one knee. And all the bluegills are jumping like that September day. Can you cast me on back? She took off on a railroad.